So, for those of you who watch this show and you're unaware, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm not your typical Cowboys fan who says this is our year and we're going to Super Bowl every year. Nothing like that. No, I'm not a fanatic. I'm a football fan first and a Cowboys fan second. So I'm a little more grounded in my evaluation of my team. And I've had time to think about the loss to the 49ers over the last couple of days. And I've listened to the talking heads on ESPN and Fox Sports, who, and by the way, they've lost 80% of their topics for discussion now that Tom Brady and the Cowboys have been eliminated from the playoffs. But I'll say this. First of all, it wasn't a bad loss. The 49ers have a great defense, and their offense have been putting up like 30 plus points a game ever since Brock Purdy took over. And the Cowboys defense did its job. Okay, even though they faded late down the stretch against the run, they held the 49ers to 19 points, and that's all you can ask for. And six of those came off of turnovers. So they didn't lose to a bad team. They lost to arguably the best team in the NFC, depending on who you ask. Now, I still think that Philly is better, but we'll find out when Philly lines up against the 49ers on Sunday. But it was a winnable game for Dallas because Dallas is a good team too. And Dallas will still be a good team next year. But I don't expect the results to be different as long as Dak is the quarterback. And the reason I think that is because he's way too old to make the mistakes that he does. I mean, 7 years in the league, and you can argue that his decision making has gotten worse with each season. He refuses to play smart. I mean, he doesn't have a cannon arm. He doesn't have Michael Vick legs, but he does possess the talent to be a winner in this league. And I don't know if it's the pressure of being a Cowboys quarterback or the pressure of his contract, but he tries to do way too much too often. He's not a field general out there, okay? His football IQ is not high. He doesn't think, he plays instinctively, kind of like the way Tim Tebow used to, and that's great for college, but it can only get you so far in the pros because these defensive coordinators are on their game, all right? He's no longer the leader that everyone projected him to be. Sure, he says the right things at the right times, and I get that, and that's great for press conferences. But how many times can you sit at a press conference and say, we'll learn from this and we'll get better next season before the guys in the locker room get sick of hearing it? Michael Parsons already commented about the two picks that he threw on Sunday and how the defense did their job. So it's only a matter of time before you go Russell Wilson and lose the locker room. Now, overall, Dak is a likable guy. Well, Tim Tebow was too. And I'm not saying he's Tim Tebow. He's better than Tim Tebow. But being a likable guy doesn't make you a quarterback capable of going to a Super Bowl. As long as Dak is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, they'll always be playoff contenders, which is great. But if they want to be Super Bowl contenders, then they're going to need either another quarterback or a better defense and running game to overcome Dak's mental lapses during big games. And I know quarterbacks don't grow on trees, and even if they wanted to get rid of Dak, his contract's not going to allow it. I mean, he has a no-trade clause. He would hit for $58 million against the cap if they tried to trade him. So, I mean, that's not going to happen. And he's great in the regular season in non-big games. And winning a bunch of games in the regular season is important. But, I mean, winning big games are important too, especially in the postseason. And Dak has proven that that moment seems to be too great for him every time, for him to win those consistently. So it's going to be very difficult for Dallas to try to win with Dak because it's hard to win with someone, especially at the quarterback position, when they play like a 10 this week, but there are 2 the next week. There are 8 the following week, then there are 4. I mean, so it's the inconsistencies that won't allow you to build something around it. You know, your foundation has to be steady, and the quarterback is the foundation of the team. And if it's not steady, then your building is going to collapse. And this was the year that he could have written his legacy, but instead he ended up just dropping his pen. Dude would be 30 years old this year, and he got outplayed by 2 rookies in the last month. 2 rookies. I mean, that's all you need to know there. Tom Brady never loses to a rookie. Pat Mahomes never loses to a rookie. So, like it or not, I mean, Dak's going to be part of the Cowboys' near future, at least for the next couple of seasons, I would think. given the nature of his contract. So all Jerry Jones could do is to put some potential all-pro players around him, find a way to re-sign Tony Pollard. Zeke will probably take a pay cut just to try to stay on the team. He needs to take a severe pay cut. And you got to get more dynamic at wide receiver and defensive back. And until then, there's really not much you can do to improve the team in Dallas. Well, no, I take that back. There is something you can do. You can fire that kicker.
Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.